Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm your other host, Chanel.
And we are back to recap Foundation Season 3, Episode 8. I wrote the name of this episode down, but I don't remember what it was. But before we get into that, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@WeWasWatching or search for the We Was Watching podcast. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and hit the notification bell so you can see us go live, which we're live now. We're live late because of me. So I probably tired Chanel out because I messed up trying to add new features to the show. But I'll get it right for next time with the new feature. So I'm sorry we're a little bit late. You can also, if you're listening to us live, if you're listening to us on podcast, we're right on time. If you want to email the show, you can email us at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com and tell us what you think about the shows that we're watching, Peacemaker Foundation. And you can also follow us on social media.
And also God of War. We're going to add that in eventually.
Is that what it's called? Have you been watching that? Yes.
Queen of War. I don't know what it's called.
God of War is a video game.
It's a video game, yeah.
Oh! You be playing Kratos.
I don't, but it came back to me. You know, I just do free association and then my brain will correct me.
Yeah, and you can follow us on social media at We Was Watching on Twitter and Blue Sky. So Chanel, what I was trying to
Twitter,
do,
Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram. And as a reminder, this is a super black show for nerds and aspiring baddies who love TV, film, comedy, sci-fi, fantasy, and aren't afraid to talk about how race and politics is in everything. Remember?
Yeah, I'm never gonna say that. You say that part. It's too much, and it sounds better coming from you.
Cool.
But we'll mix it in. Better. That was my fault. Chanel, what I was trying to do was set up the ability to play videos live on the show without having to rip them first and edit them, so that if something came up live where you had a thought and you're like, oh, I thought about this thing, we could get it in instantly. But I didn't get the audio. I got the video part of it right. I didn't get the audio part of it right.
Well, we should just be careful about that anyway, because every time we get a warning, I get so irritated.
But what I also found out is playing video, not a problem. It's the audio that's the problem. The video is not the problem.
Because they can't pick up on the video, but the algorithm can hear the audio type shit. Okay, cool. Yep. I mean, and it's the pause, it's the playing, pausing, and then it's fair use is relative. But if we can argue fair use by changing it, commenting, annotating, whatever the fuck, then we can. Yeah, I think, and then some stuff just randomly gets flagged because it's so unique. Or
none of our, you know what's funny? Oh, you know what's funny? None of our videos get flagged from the shows. It's always when we show something random.
We had a video that got taken down because we played like 10. What was it? White Lotus. It was something you played 10 minutes of.
Yeah, I mean that was a long ass video.
Yeah, that video was done for good. And then there was one video we did that was so fun. We did episode 4 of the last season of Righteous Gemstones, and that just got messed up because of audio. And so if you watch that live, that was it. And if not, never to be heard from again. So we still, what happened in my head, I'm still gonna.
Huh? Did I ever tell you what happened? Why that got messed up?
Yeah, what happened?
So what happened with that was while we were doing the show, I was watching Righteous Gemstones at the same time, but I had it coming through the same audio sources.
Did you really?
And so it just messed the whole thing up.
Okay, because I'm like, I know, first of all, the good news about not editing and not producing is that you can't do anything wrong in that sense. So I was like, I know I didn't do it. I showed up for work, but I also don't contribute. So therefore you can't win, you can't lose. You know what I mean? You can only just show up. Like I'm a shift worker essentially. But yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. My point though is that was such a fun episode because Walton Goggins was naked over and over. And that was the first time that we saw the the German au pair or whatever she was. So the Kraut. And so which I think is a slur. And so we had a lot of fun on that episode, and it was never ever to be seen again. So every once in a while, something will get pulled down. For the most part, we do good about it. But we're doing our best here, and these are things that people think about when their podcast has 500 subscribers and a Patreon. So if you want us to elevate what we're bringing you, share it with your friends, help us mass market this so that the effort that you deserve gets put into the show. Because for now, I'm dragging my feet until you guys blow us up.
Good point. But Chanel, what I did successfully do as a producer,
I mean, you did a lot. You produced.
I got drops for our segments. I mean,
I'm excited about that. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that.
What we call it? What we've been watching? What we call it?
What we've been on.
What we've been on. I got this drop. You ready?
No.
Don't watch me. Don't watch TV.
I don't hear it.
You ain't hear it? Oh.
Did they
hold
hear
on.
I didn't hear it?
No, they heard it. I forget. See, this is live producing.
You thought I was not approving, and I was just saying no. I don't.
I didn't switch the audio back. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You ready?
Don't watch me. Don't watch TV.
See?
Is that copyrighted?
No, it's some random person making a song on YouTube.
Okay, great. So that's what we've been on, and it's just giving 3-6. It's giving chopped and screwed.
Watch TV.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah, it said don't watch me, watch TV.
Watch TV. Love that. That's great. Okay, so speaking of what we've been on, what have you watched since we streamed on Saturday?
I watched a ton of football this weekend.
Good for you.
Because college football was back. I don't think I watched anything else except.
Who won the Michigan game?
Oh, Michigan. They played they did play New Mexico. I'm sorry, team.
Okay,
they
cool.
won by a lot. But they play Oklahoma next week. Big game.
Nice. I went to my first tailgate over the weekend, and let me tell you something. That is gang territory.
What's gang territory?
Don't even Ann Arbor.
Why?
On game day, I'm talking about it's blue and yellow everywhere. Like, don't even if you want to be near campus, don't play those games. You don't understand how many alum just live within the stadium, can walk to the stadium. It was. I was like, oh, because I brought my Carnegie sweatshirt, and I regretted it. I was like, let me just put this. I was so glad New Mexico wasn't red, because I was like, oh, I would have definitely looked like the ops. So I understand now people just buy this stuff so they can just blend in, because I just don't want any problems. Like, people had spray painted blue and yellow hair. Like, it's very serious. I get it. It was a season opener.
Aren't you supposed to be Michigan State more than Michigan?
Based on what?
I thought the Detroit people were Michigan State.
No, I mean, I think it depends. There's plenty of Black folks who went to University of Michigan, and because Ann Arbor is closer to where I grew up than State. But also, I don't have any family legacy there, so I think that's what really does it. Is you have one family member who goes there, and that's enough. I would have went to Michigan twice. I twice applied to Michigan, and the first time I think I just didn't want to be home both times I just didn't want to be home in Michigan, but I've almost gone to school in Michigan a couple times. So that was great. And then actually a wonderful tie-in just a story I wanted to tell that's related to this about ADHD. So I joke all the time about my memory being bad and me not remembering stuff about movies and TV film, and stuff sliding in one ear and out the other, right? Do you want to hear the latest example?
Yes.
So I'm
Let me guess.
Football league.
Let me guess.
Oh, you're not gonna be able to guess, but okay.
Let me guess. Does it have to do with TV and movies?
It has to do with fantasy football.
Oh, okay, never mind. I can't guess.
So, no, it's not anything like that. What happened today is that I was in a draft. We were doing our draft, and it was a snake round. So I was second, and then second to last. So basically, at the end of the even rounds, it would be me, someone else, me. And so that caught me off guard the first time, because I wasn't thinking about it snaking back around. And so there was a round where I knew it was coming. And also I was getting ready for the end of my workout so I could come here and be on time. And so I wanted to get food from the cafe to plan it on time. So I went to go order the food, but then there was an issue with my card. So I had to sign back into the app. I had to try to get a card from my wallet because I didn't have my physical wallet, and I forgot about the draft. And I missed 2 picks
But
because
did the
I
computer
was trying
get
to get
you?
this food.
Did the computer take care of
The
you?
computer got me what was in my queue, thank God, because
Oh,
I was
okay,
not
good.
I wasn't on auto pick. That's the thing. I did have a strategy, but the point I'm trying to get to is that's how much my ADHD is real. That I've just, when I tell you I straight up forgot for like a crucial 10 minutes, and I was like, wait, I was doing something, and it was a live draft. And so anyway, this is gonna infuriate people, but I think you could guess what my strategy was for my team for my first fantasy
You picked
football
a
team.
bunch of Lions
How'd you know?
because you've
I got
become a
mostly.
bandwagon Lion fan the last year.
It's not bandwagon. I'm not a fan of anything, and so when I turn it back on, I'm a fan of the Lions. That's what it comes down to. I'm not a
Okay.
bandwagon, but that's like I'm not a bandwagon Pistons fan. You know what I mean?
Well, the
But
Pistons good now. You could be.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I'm not a bandwagon fan. It's like it depends on the players and the energy of the team. Like I was a Pistons fan when they were winning, when it's 2005, 2006, when it was like my team. And then anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that it is mostly Lions. I missed my kicker. Somebody else got my kicker, which was a great move. Somebody else got Amon-Ra, which great move. But I literally have like mostly Lions on my draft, and I'm excited. And you know why? Because I'm not watching all those games.
You don't have
I'm
to.
not getting invested in any. I'm just watching the Lions game. So that's the only one I'm going to track. And otherwise, my points are my points. What do I look like looking at 7 different teams trying to see who won this one? How many runs do you get? I'm not doing
You know
none of
you
that.
don't have to watch to see the points that you
I
get.
know, but I'm saying, but like, I'm genuinely not investing in any team emotionally besides the
Okay.
Lions. So like, why would I even go out of my way? And then I got another QB before I got Jared Goff, and I felt like a traitor.
Did you get a
So
black
I got
QB?
They were gone. Somebody got hurt, and I was like, well, and then you already know how I feel about Patrick Mahomes, so I wasn't even looking for him. And but the funny thing is, because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm hoping that somebody who listens to sports is upset right now, but maybe we don't have that intersection. I accidentally drafted 2 QBs back to back because I didn't know what I was doing. But literally, that's when I realized I'm gonna fuck with my team. I don't care if they're gonna underrate Jared Goff. They don't expect a lot from him. I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. So Jared Goff is my backup QB, and then the rest of the team, I was like, I'm rocking with y'all. You know, if a running back on our team doesn't have the points, it's because it's their time this year.
I guess
You know what I mean?
I did pick 4 Ravens on my team.
See?
So there's that.
Yeah, I got a Steeler or 2. I got a Bengal or 2, and then all Lions. And I got Gibby first round, so that was exciting.
Gibby. What else did you watch?
Why is that laugh out loud funny?
Because it's like you're on the team. That's how they refer to people.
I
when
am on
you're
the team because I'm from Detroit. Now ask me a question about anyone else on any other team.
You know who Patrick Mahomes is?
All I know is I don't like how he walks.
By the way, Patrick Mahomes, such an odd
I don't like
thing.
He doesn't give me good vibes. He gives me weird vibes.
His wife is like super Trumpy, right?
Barry Maga.
But like Patrick Mahomes,
his father is a nigga.
Yes, and Patrick Mahomes was like super like pro Kaepernick, like when all that stuff was going down. It's such an odd thing. Like, how does that work?
It's because when they marry, black men feel like they carry enough culture just in their bones that they don't have to have politics along with it.
Oh, so you think he just like ignores her?
I just think that he's like, I think probably she can convince him that most of the policies benefit him because they're wealthy. So it's like, unless
but how does that clash with being like pro Kaepernick? I don't know how that class.
Was he pro? Is he actively pro Kaepernick, or did he speak up at one point in time and that was
No,
it? 'Cause
when
if
it
he
was.
pro,
Yeah, but I mean the Kaepernick thing. I mean,
I should
it's
have put
no,
Kaepernick on my team.
it's no reason. Why
I
would
should
you
have
pick
really
him? He
stood on
hasn't played in
business.
10 years.
I should have stood on business. I should have stood on business.
He doesn't exist. He hasn't played in 10
Has it
years.
really been 10 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's why, like, obviously he's
That's
not
actually
talking about it
disgusting.
now.
Second
But
of all, you know he's still training, right? That's what I know about football.
yeah, I'm sure he is.
I
But
do know that. Don't laugh. That's not funny. It's just
that
a
is funny.
travesty.
No, it's funny. That part is funny. But when it was happening, like right around the
Mhm.
time it was happening, he was pro.
You know, it's like 10 years ago.
He was pro.
Yeah, but again, that was pre-Trump. So like, there's a lot that's happened in the last. I don't care about nothing besides the last 2 years. If you had a chance to, you know
Was that
what?
10
I'm not
years
even gonna do
ago?
it today. No, it
had
wasn't
to
10
be.
years ago.
It had to
You went
be.
too far.
Did I
You
go
went
too far?
The 10-year, yeah, because that's college. But it is
His
within the
last
10
year was
years.
2016, 9 years ago. That's what I
Was
thought.
his last season.
Yeah, 9 years ago. I knew it was almost 10 years.
But did he stop like mid-season? Okay. Well, anyway, we're not gonna get into that today. But you guys already know how this podcast voted, and you know how we feel about. We talked last week about how you can say you were just the financial manager or just the accountant or just a project manager for the Nazis. You still work for the organization. We're gonna put it to you like that, and that's that. If you are affiliated with that, you probably already turned this off, so we're good with that either way. And I think that
I'm gonna
I'm
send
not,
you a funny article.
I don't expect to win my draft, but I stood on business. I believe in my team, and I believe
Stood
that
on
they drafted
business.
people that they believe are gonna grow. And I might not have like I didn't have all top picks, but I have a good team. And I learned that you have to, I got tight ends too. I don't even know what they do. Got
They
those.
catch the pass. Catch
Nice.
passes.
I got those. And then I got some wide receivers. I got some running backs. See, I know the technicalities of football, but I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
see.
like the lives
got
in
it.
and out of the whatever. Like I know about 2-point conversions. I'll be cheering for those. And so anyway, yeah, we that was fun, and that was an example of my ADHD. And what else I've been on? Apologies, I didn't feel well this weekend, and so after a tailgate on Saturday, that was fun. But on
Is that why you
Sunday,
got sick?
no, I don't even know what the fuck happened. But I think that was like El Nino. Like it was a change in weather that fucked me up. But Sunday to Monday, I caught up on movies, and so Sunday I didn't do much movie. I actually slept. Monday I finally watched Ant-Man.
The first one.
Yeah, finally
Okay.
got
Did you
introduced
like
to
it?
Ant-Man and his character. I did like it. It was kind of dumb, but I did like it because it was like it was such a clear like, here's the villain, here's the old guy, and then what's his name?
Did you like Michael Pena?
Michael Douglas. Michael Pena is, I mean, he's funny. I think they probably edited some of his funnier stuff out, but he was cool. I like they're bros, and then like he's a dude who fucked up and now he's just living it out. And I think we should see more people who made I think there's more dialogue about about committing crimes and being a criminal, not being who you are. But they were definitely doing too much. I mean, it did make me rethink the whole you haven't paid child support, so you shouldn't be able to see your kid type thing. And then it just made me think about a lot. I enjoyed it, though. It was fine. I also watched, I'm running my mom through it with me. We watched Civil War.
Okay, Civil War was excellent.
And she made me restart it because she was like, I want to see the beginning. Even though I explained to her, they got Bucky and they said 13 words and he went under. That's all she needs to know, but she had to see it for herself. Kept starting and stopping it to ask her, do you get what just happened? Do you get what just happened? What did she ask me near the end of the movie? Can you guess?
Why are they fighting Iron Man?
Worse. Who is Cap mad at? Also, wait, they kill his daddy? That's what she said.
T'Challa's daddy.
I know, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, but that was her question. And I'm like, Mom, we've established, because at first she goes, "Does Cap not like Black Panther?" I'm like, Mom, no one knows who he is. He just came out of nowhere. This is just,
Yeah.
have you seen him before? And she was like, no. And I'm like, because it's the first time we've seen him. They don't know this is, and she was like, oh, and that's my point. We went through that when you first saw Black Panther. And she still at the end of the movie said, so why is he mad? And so I'm just like, I'm not gonna. I don't have a problem with her having questions. I have a problem with me starting and stopping the movie for her to still have the same questions. And also, I will say this: when I first, this is such a. If you're a Marvel fan like Brandon, you've heard this take a million times. You don't want to hear it from me. But
I
when
wanna
I
hear
first
it.
watched it, I was on Iron Man's side the first time around. I was because I think it was a charisma vote, and I think I understood. Alfred Woodard was extremely convincing. She's like, "You killed my son. He's a good boy. What did he do to deserve it?" Right? There's all this fallout. But this time around, I'm like, oh, Cap obviously is correct because why the fuck would the United Nations be in charge of that? Like, he's right. By the time they decide whether or not you can go somewhere, everyone's dead. It's not. And then I'm like, we're talking about fucking who's gonna unite against Galactus? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not. I'm just thinking ahead. I'm like, we don't need that to happen. Like, because again, by the time you try to explain, it's like when Ant-Man and the Falcon went against each other in the movie. He's like, I'm trying to save the world too, and Falcon's like, yeah, right. You're gonna deal with that every time. But one thing I will say, even though I agree with Cap, you know what I realized?
What?
To date, Bucky hasn't apologized to anyone. Bucky hasn't said, I'm sorry for killing any. He showed remorse, kind of, but he just hasn't said, I wish I hadn't done it. Boy, do I wish they had killed me back in the war.
No, he did it. I don't think you watched the show. Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yet. I'm going chronological. I'm going.
Oh, you're saying at the point where you're at, he hasn't apologized. Okay.
So that he didn't woke up a couple times, admitted it. He'd be looking all sad and stuff. But like they was watching that video of him killing the people in 91, and he was watching it, just looking at Iron Man. I'm like, you could say sorry. You could say, bro, I am so sorry.
Well, I guess I have a question. Should you have to apologize for something you had no control over?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he didn't actually do it.
You don't have to, but you did it, right? So I think it's like if you bump into me and I'm completely like, if I'm correct, oh man, hold on, look for my charger. So say if I'm, here it is. Say if I'm in the right place at the right time, I'm doing fine. And then you come and you're careening behind me, you crash into me going 100 miles per hour, and you make me go into the crosswalk and kill a kid. I'm still sorry.
Are you?
I'm sorry I was there. Yes, because I can't believe somebody's dead now because of something stupid. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm not like, oh man, it wasn't my fault. They're dead. You better go to him. I'm gonna be like, bro, I wish I wasn't here today. I wish I had slept in. I wish I had woke up earlier. Like I just have so many other hold on, I gotta plug this in. I've had so many other empathetic thoughts. Bro, I'm saying he didn't even say my bad, bro. Bro, he didn't even say, I ain't mean it. He apologized less than men who get caught cheating.
Yeah, but men who get caught cheating, that's a good line.
And then he said, you know what? I didn't cause enough trouble. Huh?
That's a very good line.
Because it's true. And then he said, you know what, guys? I caused enough trouble. Put me back to sleep. Which is the fun. He said, look, y'all done found a place for me to vacation. I appreciate y'all. I'm off the grid again. I'm going to go ahead and just wake me back up when y'all find a cure. That is hilarious.
I feel like if I mind controlled you and you had no idea that you were doing this stuff and I made you do it, I feel like you shouldn't have to apologize for it.
That's crazy because didn't Jessica James apologize to Luke Cage? Do you think she was crazy for doing that? No, because that was wrong.
Jessica
she
Jones?
Bad about it.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
True. That's true. You're right.
And that's the perfect example of it. Like Jessica went too far because at least Bucky didn't sleep with Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? But when she had her moment, she said, she felt bad. Like my point is, I think Bucky feels bad, and I think Cap knows he feels bad. But the point is that I'm just thinking back, and Bucky never had a damn, y'all, I can't believe this. This sucks.
At the point of where you're at.
Sucks. And they're controlling me. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in Falcon Winter Soldier, but we know that came out at post. That happened in damn post-pandemic.
I mean, we said before then, but you're absolutely correct. And I'm looking at the movies.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
At the point where you're at with Civil War, he has not showed that. Yet.
Like he's fighting Iron Man after Iron Man.
But at this point in Civil War, he's still not fully himself, right? Because he got brought back in Civil War.
but Cap is really like going hard for him, and I think he's not wrong, but he's right, but he's wrong at the same time because it's the exact thing where he says like, "This is my friend." Now Iron Man is like, "Nigga, so was I. I was your friend. How is he like?" We would never, me and Iron Man, me and Captain America would be cool, but we would never be the same after that.
All right. Anything else you watched?
I think that was it because now the next one is we watch Ultron, obviously. They go in between each other.
Oh, okay.
So we got Vision. You remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I remember that. Very much so. Yes.
So yeah, I'm still just doing my Marvel thing. Oh my God, sorry, I did actually go to the movies today. I went to go see Honey Don't in theaters. Super sapphic. I'm just gonna give you a fair warning.
Super what?
Sapphic.
What the hell does that mean?
Google it. Sapphic.
Sapphic?
Sapphic. Sapphic.
I've never heard of that word in my entire life.
I'm putting you on game.
It doesn't even come up as a definition.
Sapphic does it?
Relating to sexual attraction or activity between women. What does that mean?
Super sapphic.
What does relating
of
to
lesbian
sexual
sex means.
attraction mean? Oh, that's what that means?
A lot of lesbian. Yes.
Oh, somebody put on Reddit, what's the difference between sapphic and lesbian? So there's a difference apparently.
It's a descriptor.
Oh, sapphic is any WLW. That includes bi women and pan women as well as lesbian women. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, because it's like if you see two women having sex, you don't necessarily know they're both what they are unless it's the L word. I don't freaking know. And
Okay.
all I know is that like, bruh, let me tell you something right now. Snoop Dogg, do not go see that movie. You're gonna shit yourself.
No, I don't think Snoop Dogg would have a problem with that movie.
No, he said he's scared of lesbians.
No,
so he really should run the other way.
He wrote rap songs about them.
But he was afraid when he did it, apparently. Let me warn him right now.
All right.
Snoop Dogg. This is your warning. Yeah, let's get into the episode.
That was what we've been on. I was going to try to play it again, but it didn't work. So anyway.
Don't watch TV.
You heard it that time?
I heard about it. I heard it now. Yeah, also found foundation spelled wrong in the caption. Has it been like that for 40 minutes?
Tion. Yeah. Well, I was too busy messing up.
No, hey, we had a lot going on. Do you think it's possible to do like something that flashes that like a banner during what we've been on or no? Like a simple banner?
No,
or is
I
that
could do that.
Too much?
You could do a whole card that pops up.
Yes, something.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Okay, anyway, so that's what we've been on, guys. And this is us doing our segments because people said, hey, y'all, we want y'all to be organized. And I was like, I guess. But Brandon had already thought about it. So that was our segment where we say we'll be watching. And depending on how much we've been watching, it's a long segment. It's also my chance to get off like what happened to me that day. So, but now we can jump right into the recap of Foundation. This was a great episode. We're almost at the end of this season. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're about to have definitely have a battle. I guess I'm curious about if you think that this will be resolved by the end of the season, or if they're going to give us a big cliffhanger.
I don't think there's a chance in hell it's resolved by the end of the season. By the way, this is episode 8 of season 3. The name of this episode was Skin in the Game. Skin in the Game. This episode started at the vault. And we pick up with our boy Seldon and the Mule picking up from where they left off. Because, Seldon was like, hey, dog, I know you fucking with me. And so they basically have who had a hard times off, who had the hardest times growing up. Because Seldon was like, I grew up on a planet that was really fucked up too. And they tried to and do all these rules. And then the Mule was like, yeah, but my story's worse. And so he said, people tell me this is the mule. People tell me you're the man with the plan. So based on that, how long did you say psychohistory was going to take? Like how long, if you follow psychohistory, how long was that going to keep us out of the dark ages, and how long would that shit take? He said about 1,000 years. And he said, all right. He said, so I know you did the calculations. How long you think before I take over this whole thing? And he was like, much faster than that. And then he was getting all excited, and Sheldon was like, but don't get ahead of yourself, dog. You ain't won yet. Like, you need to chill the fuck out. And so then the mule was like, yeah, whatever. I'm on this shit. Anyway, while I got you, who's Gail Dornick? And Sheldon tells her who he's like, that was your protege, right? And then
He like, yeah, but she did.
yeah, he was like, she ain't dead though. She here. And Volt Sheldon didn't know, obviously. We knew this, but he had no idea the Second Foundation exists or that she was alive. And the mule was like, tell me, who she got, how many people she got with her, how many bodyguards she got, how many ships she got, like who she rolling with. And Volt Sheldon didn't answer none of it. And then Harry got some courage, and he was like, because the mule was kind of walking around him and trying to pick at him, trying to get in his mind and shit. And Harry was like, oh, you trying to get in my mind. You trying to fuck with my emotions. I can display emotions, right? With my face. Like I can make it seem like I'm upset or sad or confused or angry, but I don't actually feel no emotions. So you can try to mess around in my head all you want. You're not going to find nothing. And the mule looked kind of off-put it. And then the mule tries to leave. He's like, fuck it. Whatever. Tries to walk away. And Harry does the same thing he did to the warden a couple seasons ago. He used a Volt to lift him up in the air. And you see blood coming out of his nose, the mule's nose, and out of his mouth and shit, like he's about to die. And then Sheldon drops into the ground. He was like, see?
No. And he goes, why did you let me live? And that's when I paused the TV because I said, why did you just do you understand? This is definitely a Batman moment.
Yes.
We talk about this all the time. If you killed him, you would have stopped a lot of shit in its tracks. You would have saved millions of lives. You would have literally saved everybody. We'd be good. But that Harry, and I think there's something to be said about that Harry was kind of an asshole, and so he was frozen in time as this person who manipulated and because that's the same Harry that Raish wanted to kill, right? Because he was playing games. So he hasn't evolved. He hasn't had the time on Earth. The Harry that Gail knows is more grounded and had time to think about legacy and all that stuff. So this Harry is the one who just ran from the fight in the first place. I am enraged that he says, why didn't you kill me? He goes, you still have a secret, and until I find that out, basically I can use you at some point, so I'm gonna keep you around. And I know he might not have the psychohistory with the extended answers, and he doesn't know about the 4-month timeline, but not fucking with this decision he just made. He's the only one. Yeah, he's the only one who could have saved it. He could have actually saved history after all that he went through, and he misses it.
Maybe he thinks the mule is the key to not having, because remember in the first season when it was still real Harry, he was saying, psychohistory can't stop these dark ages. We can just limit how long they last, right? That was the whole point of psychohistory. It was it won't last thousands and thousands of years if we follow my rules. Maybe he thinks the mule can eliminate the dark ages at all if he's allowed to go through with something. I don't know. Maybe he said. But you know what I was thinking about when the mule was trying to walk away and then Harry grabbed him? You know what I was thinking about?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Look, see, I got more drops. This is for you, Chanel.
I love it. That is definitely what happened, because he was throwing him around in a Marvel movie when Ant-Man gets huge and picks up Rhodey and starts twirling him around like Toy Story. That's literally what he was whooping his ass. And that was the one time we've seen the mule. Apparently the mule is scared of Gale because of his dreams, but that was the actual first time that the mule has had anyone see him in combat, probably since forever.
It's why did you let me live? And Selby's like, because I can get something up out of you. So then we go to Mycogen, and they still got Brother Dude's ass on trial. Sunmaster does a quick line of spores. He does a quick line, like sniff that shit to get his shit going before he has to perform. And then he comes over with that staff, and Dave was like, "Hey yo, is that robot skull real? Like, what the fuck is that?" And
like he's clowning the dude who has him on trial. Side note, and I'm like, I don't love that choice. Like, I get it because he's not taking them seriously, and I maybe wouldn't either, but I would be a little bit quiet in that instance if it was me.
And Dave was like, "I'm sure your guys wouldn't appreciate you worshiping their corpse." And Sunmaster was like, "Don't tell us what they would appreciate. The robots will tell us what they appreciate when they come back. And you will be tried now." And then they pan back because it looks super dark, like it's just him and Sunmaster in that room. And they pan back, and then it's like this whole cathedral of all these people standing in the different like doorway entryways, looking down on them.
Yeah, it's like when the Star Wars Council. It's like when all the Star Wars Council people are in a room, or when there was something else that this reminds me of, but yeah, like it's just like it goes back way farther than you can see, and it's just like a big, or like I guess maybe like when Thor has a big council and all this stuff. It's just a big giant chamber of people who almost damn near constituents from the different areas.
Then we go to the north side of Trantor, up in the north side, and Lady D comes back and tells Dusk. She just walks out the ship, walks by Dusk, and was like, "Your brother did," and it keeps walking. I was like, "God damn!" And Dusk, he ain't even had time to process that. He coming in, he's talking to his little boo thing, Ambassador Quint, and he's like, "Man, Dawn was the best of us." And he sent me an email. Actually, he sent me a voice message the other day apologizing, talking about he about to do some shit, and now he dead. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, how am I supposed to deal with this shit? And Dusk was like, "I'm finna die in a couple days, and I still outlived that boy." Another unnatural thing.
She like, I know they're not about to kill you and you got all this going on. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, it's like, oh man, I almost made the worst joke ever. Keep going, please.
The worst jokes are the best jokes sometimes.
It was related to a national tragedy that happened in 2001, and I just don't think it's necessary to do it. But it's basically like getting fired right before everybody else leaves the office, and so they basically call you back. Like, I guess you still hire, huh? Rest in peace to all the people.
He said, "Another unnatural thing in my unnatural life. And we're supposed to be interchangeable." And Quint was like, "Yeah, but," he's like, "that don't exist anymore." Quint was like, "It never was. I believe a person is a person.
Yeah.
And each of y'all have always been individual people. And you get to make your own choices."
It's important to get that perspective too, because like they're so enthralled in their own culture that it's like they forget that like they feel like they're doing something wrong, and she's just reminding them like, y'all are actually human. Like, you should have these unique experiences. Like, you should have slightly different things. Like, you're not meant to be the same replica of a thing over and over and over. Like, that makes you not a person. So I think like I appreciate her perspective and her little like, her being by his side later. I'm actually like genuinely randomly happy for them that they have these moments together, because again, I don't know how long Dusk will be around.
And so after that, Dusk, she tells him Dawn mattered. And Dusk said his name will be Cleon the Worthy, and he would have been the best of us. And then one of the people that worked there came up to him and was like, "Hey dog, the Galactic Council, they downstairs and they talking about coming up here and they got something to say."
Or not even a Galactic Council, like random powerful people from like 3 different sectors.
So do you know who it was?
The RZA, the Jizza. No, I don't know who it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was it?
No, this will be a good callback for you. So one of them was Serial Pharrell, right, from Game of Thrones, the guy who was like overseeing the council, right? The other one was the Zephyr, who's been like Demerzel's nun, that she's been having an unburdening session.
Yeah, no,
with.
that I saw her.
And then the other woman was from I think it's called the Cloud Imperium. What were they called? not Cloud Imperium. That's the video game that I play.
Games on the brain
Um,
today.
but it. Do you remember in season? Well, in season 2, that Day was supposed to get married to that light skinned black woman, and then she ain't get. He ain't want. She was like, "I'm not fucking with you," and she ends up running
And
off
then-
with Dawn, that version of Dawn,
Yeah.
and they disappear. Those are their people. The other
Okay.
group that was there was
Oh,
their people.
interesting.
So I'm curious if we're gonna see their offspring, the Dawn that ran away,
I mean, hopefully.
and her. Like they're this
Mm-hmm.
is like 150 years later, so not offspring. It would be ancestors.
But somebody has to be. No, it's offspring. Somebody, like, even though they're generations removed, it's still like. I guess you're saying offspring might be direct.
Yeah,
They're descendants.
Descendants. Yes,
That's good,
descendants.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think it would be interesting to see, like, to some extent, somebody has Empire in their bloodline, and I think 150 years is not enough for them to discount it. As far as if I know anything about the royals, and then like we just have this interesting dynamic right now where because Dawn made the decision to do the enclosure and it failed, but then he's not there and Day's not there to deal with it. Like, basically they have a vote of no confidence for Empire, but Dust didn't have anything to do with any of that. Like, voted against it, didn't want it. And so when they come in, like, he says, like, I don't have time to daddle with the video chat. He's like, I don't have time to daddle with Zoom today. He's like, I'm not doing no damn hologram. And they're like, oh no, they're here. He's like, they're at the door. They actually have taken their shoes off already. And so, like, they want to meet. And he's like, oh wow. So he invites the ambassador to go with him to like
Demerzel.
see these people and see what they want to say. Yeah.
He tells Demerzel, he's like, go get Lady Demerzel. So then we cut to Day's trial, and Sunmaster is Ask Ocean Glass. That's her name. I said Ocean Master last week from Aquaman. He has Ocean Glass. She's like, you gonna wear the red sash today. And he was like, Songbird, take your ass over there with him. Because if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be here anyway.
Sure.
And so then we get this scene.
Inheritors, kneeling before you is the face of the man who nearly brought our faith to ruin more than 600 years ago. Now the devil!
He was so overacted. Like, if I'm trying to put myself in real, like if this was real and I was there, I'd be like, yo, why are you acting so dramatic? Just tell me what the charges are. Why are you so dramatic?
But it's like, but we haven't gotten Perry Mason yet. You know what I mean? We're closer to the Coliseum than we are to that. So it's like, he's trying to incite people's lust for blood and vengeance and all that. And I feel like you can't do that.
Hold on, what do you mean we haven't got Perry Mason yet?
I'm saying, they're like way past. You're right. This is the future.
This is like 1,000 years ahead.
Like way past me. Damn. Well, I feel like, you know what? It's like old age. Like the older you get, the closer you get back to the basics. Yeah. So it's like they're just like, are you not entertained? Because if he was like, on the 7th of December, the defendant was messing with robots, nobody would want to see him dead.
That's a good point.
Has returned to face judgment for his peccancy.
I'm not the Cleon you.
All right. See, I'm learning. I'm getting my vocabulary up. Peccancy. A sinful act or state of sinfulness, a moral offense or transgression, or a state of being faulty or flawed. Is that what he's accused of? Peccancy? Okay.
You are all the same to us, Cleo.
Oh, y'all all the same, huh? A little Cleonic schism, huh?
It's no different than like, hey, I know you didn't human traffic people from Africa, but you did benefit from what those people did do. And so you're the only ones I have to talk to about this today. So in a way, I get it. He's like, you might not be him, but you're him for all intents and purposes.
24. And the story you're about to hear is one you've had a role in, whether you've accepted it or not. Begin!
Then we get a Broadway play in the middle of this trial.
What is she doing?
Once the red sash is on, she's not my life mate anymore. She's your executioner.
I would be stressed about that.
See, you're executioner too, apparently.
I'd be
Anthropos.
so stressed.
Human, unworthy descendant of the one world earth, enslaver!
Look into the eyes of God and be judged.
Brother dude was like, what are you doing? Show me that prop. What you want me to look at that prop for?
That's just dead metal on a stick.
That's so disrespectful, by the way.
Does this metal seem dead? Empire!
Look at his face. He's like, oh shit. That shit's still alive. We got a chat from Aris who said, this scene reminded me of the Vampire Council dances and What We Do in the Shadows.
I didn't watch that. I bet you it's good as hell because it was giving. Thank you, Aris, for being in chat. Welcome. It's giving, like, in terms of the drama, I think, again, first of all, they don't have these trials often. It can't be, right? Like, this is giving like a big thing that they only do when they have occasion. And I think it's probably church to them in a way too, because they're like you said, they're acting out what they believe is the narrative of like their savior, like their belief system. And it's no different than, like, you know, nativity plays, right? But this was, I think what's impactful about this overall experience is that for the first time this day, who's been the most dismissive of Demerzel has a moment to see her from someone else's perspective and appreciate what we could talk about how dramatic it was, but it clearly got through to somebody who, like, all of his life has been like, man, fuck Demerzel.
Great point. And we started seeing it last week when he was having when he was tripping. Or maybe that was 2 weeks ago when he was tripping off that tea. And he started seeing all the stuff that Demerzel did when he was a kid and taking care of him and shit. So it's been like a bit of a process for him, which is, I always appreciate that in shows where it's not just like a switch, where it's just like, oh, 1 second I was this person, now I'm this person. It seems like it's been some time for him to go through this and realize this thing. Back in the Percipium, Dust tells he's meeting with the different groups, and he's like, I've retained Ambassador Quint as counsel. So she's standing up there. And Syrian Pharrell tells them that the three of these groups here, we represent 5 trillion souls. And they want to give an olive branch to the mule. And he's like, oh, what would that be? And they're like, Trantor. He's like, what? And he's like, well, we know, we think that, if he could come here and take a look at this, he might get him to chill out. And he's like, and Dusky's like, say it plainly, sir. And he's like, we finna take down the defenses so he can come get Trantor, just give it to him. And he'll be so busy with Trantor and all his different layers and people and everything that he might give us some time or at least leave us the fuck alone for a while. And then he was like, Cyril Pharrell said, the heart is where he was like, this is the, Dusk was like, this is the heart of the entire galaxy. And Syrian was like, because I don't know his name in the show, I'm gonna keep calling him that. He was like, the heart? Where's Dawn? He gone. We ain't nobody heard from him. Brother Day is getting high somewhere probably. It's just you, and you finna be dust in 49 hours. And Dusk was like, down to the hour, huh? And he was so offended.
Yeah, that's petty.
And Quint was like, if you hand him Trantor, he's not gonna be satisfied. He's just gonna go take something else. Like what about his actions
I
make
mean,
you
yeah,
think?
to be fair, exactly. Like the idea is that he came out, he said, I want Trantor, and they said no. So then he did something to distract. That's not his MO at all. His MO was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna take a planet while y'all don't pay attention, and then as soon as y'all do something to me, I now have like glacial reach. Like he's not just coming for Empire. He's clearly coming for all of it. But I also think that like giving Trantor is not just like a demonstration of that, because it's like once he controls that, what's to say he's like, even if you think he's gonna stop there, he's gonna continue to try to like control everything. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no treaty with someone who comes in this way, is what I'm trying to what's not clocking to them.
Exactly. And so then we see that the Luminous is there, the Zephyrs, the nuns, and they agree. She's like, even the nuns agree. And Demerzel was like, "Is this true?" And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, I'm with them." And Demerzel can't believe it. And she said, "This will benefit the many." And I was like, "Oh, she trying to speak to the zero flaw." Because like they had the 3 laws for the robots, and they had the zero flaw, which is basically like whatever. It's basically like what's good for the many is the best thing, and that's kind of how some robots decided to turn against humans. They were fucking shit up, and so Terrell says, "Look, I ain't come here to bargain with you or to like just to ask your permission. We doing this shit anyway." And Dusk was like, "Get the fuck up out of here! Like we're tired of your shit." And he's like, "You're killing the dynasty, and if you kill us, you kill the entire galaxy." And Pharrell was like, "All right, then, peace." And then Dustin's like, escort them out there. He tries to run off of him, and the security got to hold him back.
No, because he says, all right, we was just letting you know. We weren't asking. That's what he says on the way out. He's like, just so you know, we're doing this shit. We were just giving you courtesy of letting you know. And so, yeah, he's like, hold me back. And he tries to fight them.
So then we go to back to Day's trial, and we get the whole story of the past in the version of a play. It was so dramatic. It was like it was like at church sometimes they have the spirit dancers and they have on the all white and they're doing that's what it was. That's what it essentially was.
They were church mimes. It was giving. Basically their whole idea is, hey, humans had these ideas, but they couldn't do shit without robots. They were never getting to the galaxy. They were never getting out to space. They were never expanding the way they wanted to. So then they got there, and then they're like, oh, actually, fuck y'all. We're about to kill all y'all. And they're like, whoa, you guys genocided the robots. It's crazy. We don't think this is cool. We don't think this is fun. And we believe that like there's a robot named Daniil who's going to come back one day and save us. And that savior is going to rise up, and we're going to be the chosen ones because we waited for them and we saw. And they basically like talk about how an underlying thing is like, you guys mistreated the robots, and all the robots did was show up for you. And like, there's no mention. I don't know if like there's a robot uprising or robot harm or whatever. Like, I don't know why they turned on them, but they just talked about how they turned on them, specifically to talking about Empire using them for their own like political aims. And I think, again, in that telling of the story, that is a different way to think about Demerzel in general and like what the robots went through than what he's willing to think about, because in his mind she embodies his being stuck in as an Empire and like being trapped and not really having an identity, but she's just more stuck than he is, truly, because she doesn't die. And so then the Daniil thing brings up, you talked about this before, it confirms that Demerzel is a main robot from the books, this historical important robot, and like literally is being named right now as their savior, which like as luck would have it, you guys actually have captured the dude who works with her. So that's crazy.
And so and Ocean Blast says this is their promise, that's the inheritance. That's when they get the name of the religion, the inheritance. And
inheritors, and that's why he calls them inheritors, because they're going to inherit the earth from the robots or something like that.
And the head on the stick of Sunmaster is called the Brazen Head. And the Brazen Head starts humming this song. And Day's
Well,
like,
because he says he starts talking. He's like, you're not gonna get nothing out of us. Don't talk to me. Talk to the brazen. No, he tries to talk to everybody, and he's like, either talk to me or talk to the brazen head. And if the robot head don't speak back to you, it's a wrap. And so he's like, what do you mean? It's just like you said, it's a robot on a stick, and the eyes actually light up and it starts making a sound, like you said.
and so he's like, they seek remediation. And so he's like, that's basically your punishment if you get guilty. And so remediation is basically they're going to put a bunch of stuff on him, which is basically going to disintegrate him into turn him into food that goes back into the soil to grow. That's what they're going to do to him. And so then Day stands up and he got a speech.
Death by compost, basically.
Death by compost. And this is Day's.
I address the brazen head.
You're like, oh shit.
I claim that right.
And they all look like, ain't nobody did that before. They're like, hold on, he talking straight to the head.
I want to atone. I know things that you do not. There's a chance we are at our end right now. I know.
He's not wrong based on what we find out later this episode.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention too, like for him, he wanted to do all this. He's like, if the world is ending anyway, this is how I want to go out. But he's like, all right, if you're not going to give me the option to go out with my homegirl, then like I want to warn y'all. And then they're actually like, again, this is very kismet. Like this is the person he needs to talk to about it. Because even if they do want to approach Demerzel, like he's saying, you're not gonna get nothing out of it. She's gonna turn her back on y'all and maybe even attack y'all because she's not programmed to be who y'all. That's not gonna like break the spell. You know what I'm saying? Them like approaching her and telling her they love her. So he's definitely not wrong at all.
Yes, because my advisor knows. She is a robot. And 5,000 years ago, her name was Daniil.
He's like, oh, isn't that convenient? Ha, of course.
Do we inheritors believe him?
If you kill me, you'll never have your inheritance. You could storm my palace trying to free her, but she would annihilate you because she serves only me.
Blasphemy!
100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take us for children?
Look, I think we all tell ourselves stories to make sense of the tiny roles we all play in a vast and wildly complicated galaxy. I know I have.
That's a great way to describe what Empire does. Like Empire really does believe that like they are the reason for the season, and if they don't do stuff, like if they don't move, shit won't move. And it's important to remember, like Cycle History shows, yeah, they have like a say, like they have more clout than the average person, but like it's not enough to change the course of history the way that like everyone can.
Mm-hmm.
You were right to put me on trial. It is my place to atone.
My dynasty has enslaved a robot. Personally, I've treated Demerzel as a machine, an object. Every Cleon has, so that we could use her as we wanted. We've twisted her, called her sister, called her lover. We've made her kill for us, turning her into the monster we know ourselves to be. And even so, she is the only one to ever love us, to believe in us. She was by our side when we built the Star Bridge and the Rings of Trantor. She helped us bring peace to the galaxy in ways our ancestors could only imagine.
He's starting to make headway.
Does this make our atrocities any easier to swallow?
Nope.
Honestly, I don't know. I only know that if I don't find a way to free her, she will still be there, trapped in her servitude,
singing lullabies to the next little Cleon as the galaxy descends into chaos. Bum, 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 bum.
Heresy! Hey man, that actor playing Sunmaster was on one, man. With this act. So then after that, Sunmaster noticed that they're starting to believe him. He calls it heresy. The Brazenhead does the song again, and then Day finishes it because he remembers that Demerzel was humming that shit when he was a kid. And it wakes up the Brazenhead, and even more people are like, oh shit. And then it says, initiate communication, handshake signal. And so what I found out, Chanel, is that in the world that Asimov did, humaniform, that's what they call them, like human-like robots, humaniform robots, they were not the common robots. There were only a few. Like the humaniform robots like Demerzel that actually presented as people were like few and far between. Most of the robots look like fucking robots that were running around and existing. And so when that robot comes on and it sounds like a fucking robot, that's because a lot of them used to sound like that. They didn't all act like people in Demerzel. And so then they cut back.
I mean, I assume there was a sort of like code switching that you can access, but if they were made to, like, a part of why Demerzel is like that is because she's not allowed to be a robot. So yeah, like it would make sense that if they were allowed to openly be robots, they wouldn't all like conform literally. You know, that makes sense to me, or assimilate.
And so Demerzel, they cut back to a passage of Demerzel saying that robots shared one mind when they wanted to. And Day's like, it's looking for Demerzel. And Sunmaster says, Demerzel's a clone, just like Cleon. We don't believe that shit. And by the way, your ass is guilty, committed to the soil. I was like, damn, Day. So then we go to the second foundation, and Gail and our boy Preem is talking. And she says it's bad if, she's like, if Pritchard's caught, that's bad. And then he's like, it's better than if he's dead. She's like, if he's dead, at least he can't talk, because then they'll find us.
Let me tell you something. She is cold as ice. Like, she's like, look, yeah, I know that's my man. Yeah, we was in the water the last time I saw him, but he better be dead, because if they catch him, he all like, and she's not wrong. Like, he knows so much. So he's like her second in command. He's her lover. Like, he will be able to share he will be able to share so much that when he was on guard and investigating the mule still got stuff out of him. So we know that, like, yeah, like I think even Pritchard himself would try to die instead of giving it up. So I think that's already something they're probably on the same page about. But the way she says it is so cutthroat. She's like, yeah, like, I hope he's dead, because if he's not, then we're in trouble.
And he says, y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. Right there. Y'all need to leave. Y'all need to start evacuating this shit ASAP.
Stay around.
Take the Prime Brady.
Because once he finds out, he will be here in a second.
Yeah, because he's got the whisper ships. Take the Prime Brady and get the fuck up out of here. Preem says, I'm not leaving without you. He sits his ass down, crosses his legs like, I'm not going nowhere. And then says, Gail says, if you don't hear from, listen, I gotta go. If you don't hear from me in 48 hours, leave and don't look back. Preem says, this sounds like you wanted this shit the whole time. Suicide by the mule. And she said,
I mean, it does seem like something she would want.
She said, it's not suicide if I kill him first. I was like, okay, Gail.
So yes, this is literally what she had planned the whole time.
So then we go back to Trantor. Demerzel's looking at the Cleons to decant the new one. Dust comes in and is like, you can't do this shit.
She's doing too much. Like, I know there's a plan and everything, but like, Demerzel.
He's like, you can't do this shit. It takes days to bring the exponents up to speed. We ain't got that kind of time. And she's not really paying him no much.
But you literally know the Prime Bradiant is telling you like everything's ending in 4 months. So like, I know that's how much her programming is. Like, she did not have the programming. She don't have no fail safe where if they come in and worship her, she's going to reset. She's like, this is the rules. This is the way. I'm confused about why you're confused.
And Dust was like, we need something faster. A weapon so daunting that your universe will look at it and flinch. And then looks, and he's thinking that Demerzel already knew the shit he was doing behind his back. And he looks at her surprised, like, oh, you don't know shit about
He's
the
geek.
Novacula.
She's so geek. She's like, no way. No way I pulled this off.
So Dust says, well, maybe you'd like to see it. So then they walk into the other room. And he's basically explaining to Demerzel what the Novacula is. And then they're basically doing exposition to the audience to explain, like, yeah, Demerzel probably should have known, but this is why she didn't, basically. Because she says, it would have took trillions of pounds of whatever fucking metal it took to build this shit. How did I not know this? And I'm like, yeah, how did you not know this, Demerzel? And then Dust said it was intended as a deterrent for the ascension of Dawn. And Demerzel said Dawn was not who you thought he was. And Dust was like, you don't have a lot of me. And she was like, no, he died on Clarion Station at the orders of Gail Dornick. And Dust says he was not capable of betrayal. And Demerzel was like, yeah, he was. Whether he thought it was betrayal or not, I'm not sure. But he was definitely doing some betraying.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gail Dornick, the woman who coerced him, is the leader of a second foundation. And Dust was like, God damn, Seldon had a backup plan too, huh? And he was like, but I like my plan better. And he was like, it's us. He's like, it's the world against us, Demerzel. Our legacy is being ripped from our hands, and we must not let it go. And then we go to the mule ship, and we see that Dawn is still alive. He fucked up, but he's still alive. And Beta's there, and they lift up. She lift up the sheet, and you see Dawn's legs are like completely like destroyed. And Beta said, the mule's people just found your ass floating around Clarion Station. And Dawn was like, you look familiar to Beta. And Beta was like, oh, I look familiar. You've been on my OnlyFans. You know what me, Torin and Beta, right? And Dawn was like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. You the person who stole the fucking Magnifico from the mule, right? And she was like, oh, goddamn, yeah, that was me. And then Dawn was like, she was like, are we alive? If we're alive, the mule wants something. And Dawn says, he tells the story of like how he stayed alive, and basically the suit needed heat and energy, so they took it from his legs and crushed him. So then we cut to the Trantor garden. The sister Zephyr shows up to talk to Demerzel, and she sees Demerzel playing with one of them poisonous fruits, and she's like, you finna kill me? And Demerzel's like, it's safe here, sit your ass down. And she tells Demerzel to come home to the Salt Palace. She's like, you can be one of us. You can leave here and just be in the church. And Demerzel's like, I can't do that. And then she was like, the Luminous are not passive players here. We got power. And this fucks with Demerzel's programming. Because she now knows that she's going to have to do some fuck shit. And she says, I got one last confession. And she says, this is something that I haven't done yet, but I'm going to have to do. And it's going to be much worse than anything I've ever done. I was like, she going to use that goddamn weapon on somebody. I don't know what she going to use it on.
No, I had no idea. I thought she was like, yeah, I'm about to kill you in another way that you don't expect. So I had no idea what she meant. Thank you that's probably a better theory.
And Demerzel said, I enjoyed our time together. It was like a friendship. She takes off these bracelets and said, it was foolish to ever think that the mother could hold her in her arms. And the Zephyr said, you are luminous. And Demerzel said, I am the Pale Reaper of the Empire, and nothing can change that. And I was like, why you got to be pale, Demerzel? Jeez.
Well, because, I don't think robots have like metal skin. But yeah, basically she's saying, she's like, whatever she says about the mother, I think is a reference to their religion. And she's like, see, like, you believe in it, we can go. And she's like, nah, girl, I'm just talking. Like, at the end of the day, I got work to do here, and I'm gonna do it. And she's basically like, I just want to let you know, like, I'm about to do it. Like, I'm not even, I know I'm supposed to feel bad, but I'm about to do it.
So we see her leave, and when she's leaving, she walks through like this contraption, and that's how they erase their memories. And when she gets out, she's like, Lady Demerzel, why was I crying? What was I crying about? And Demerzel just walked off.
She like, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier, and then she just like,
I'll get that drop. I like that one. I'm just gonna start
please
piling
don't.
them up
From me or from this actual song?
from you.
I don't like when I sing. I
You
only do it
don't like that
once.
one?
I don't want to repeat it because I know that was not the note. That was neither the note nor the intention.
Then we go to the mule shit. The mule's just chilling with his boys. His boys are playing with Scarlet. She runs around. He grabs her like a dog. You know, like a dad will grab the daughter, like, I got you.
So sick.
Like that.
So sick.
And he gives her Gail Dornick's stones from her religion that she gave to Pritchard. And she says,
Oh.
she goes, she's from a water planet. I've been wanting to meet her for a long time, but I realized my search is no longer necessary. Gail will come here, and Pritchard will lead me to her, and then the girl from the water planet will be his. He's like telling her a story. So then we go to the second foundation. Gail is talking to Harry Seldon's statue. She's a, I wish Salvo was supposed to be here. She's a strong one of us. If I got her back, I'd tell her I love her every day. And I'm sorry, Harry, I never told you that I loved you, but I did, and I'm sorry. And then Preem shows up, and he's like,
but she loved like 80-year-old Harry, by the way. She didn't love 30-year-old Harry.
No,
or
she
whatever,
hated that dude.
however old he is.
And Preem, when Preem shows up and he tells her the mule's not had what you have. You got a whole family. You got all of us. He ain't got none of that. And she was like, he does not speak out loud. He said, I don't speak out loud, but I'm still the first speaker. In the second foundation, we are one creature. The mule will only know one way, and he's limited. We can use that. He will tell others you are ready. And then Gail said, others? He's like, I wasn't finna let you go by yourself. I got a whole crew for you. I got a coalition of the willing. 40 nations ready to roll, son.
Yeah, but it's actually 3
You don't
people.
know where that's from.
I do, but I can't place it. It's very late.
It's Blackbush from the Chappelle Show.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Then we see Gail on the beggar taking off from Ignis. And then we go back to the mule ship. And he come down to the infirmary to talk to Dawn. And he's like, let me pick your brain so I can find everything about Gail. And Dawn was like, go ahead, be my guest. And Dawn was like, you afraid of her. So soak it all up. Get everything that you know. And he was like, you got a lot of Gail Dornick on your mind for somebody who, not supposed to be an empire. I was like, oh, so does Dawn have a little crush on Gail? Did he have a little crush on Gail? Is that what this was? And so he said, look, if you keep secrets from me, that ain't gonna be good for you. And he said, I've been known to be cruel. So I'll find out. He like grabs his leg. And Beta was like, I think it's time for you to leave now. And the mule was like, who the fuck said that?
Strong move.
And the mule said, I guess you're right. Gail Dornick will be here. And so I think he's not fucking with Beta because she know where Magnifico is. And he needs Magnifico for whatever his plans are. So he's trying to keep her alive to figure that shit out. So
but does she know? Because wouldn't he have just sucked it out of her?
Oh, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I wonder why she's still alive then. So then the mule said, maybe he don't see her as a threat. That's probably what it is. You just the OnlyFans girl. That's probably what he said. So then the mule said, then the Gail ship showed up to New Terminus and tells the pilot, listen, when we get off this ship, you take your ass and jump immediately so they don't pick up your signature. They get off the ship, they start running, the ship moves off. And then Gail's like running into the forest, and then she stops to look at the vault. Because I don't think Gail's ever seen the vault. She's never seen the vault. She never made it to the first terminus. So it was her first time seeing that. And so then the last scene, back at Day's trial, Day's trying to get Song's attention, and Ocean Glass won't let her go over there to talk to him. And Sunmaster comes over and says, "Oh, you was telling the truth about the robots." And Dave was like, "I don't believe you. Like, stop fucking with me." And he was like, I got Song's memories. I saw everything." And then Dave was like, "See?
My
See?"
mama loves that. My mama says you should have kept James in there. My mom will say that to everybody in the house, and nobody's named James. Yeah, I know
And
that reference.
I'm proud of you, but
Thanks.
it's not in his interest to tell them God's walking among them. They says you're making a big mistake. Everything's going to end. She's the only one who can stop it. Some master says,
Yeah, it's literally like it's like a priest being like, okay, either y'all could sit in church with me, or y'all could go. Jesus is right down there, or y'all could keep giving 10% over here.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. And some master says, "You just another ingredient in the heretic soup." He then calls for remediation. The floor opens, and day goes falling into black, and then that's the end of the episode. That was it.
Yikes. Yeah, he's gonna need a miracle. I think the problem is, well, all I'm assuming, or what I was waiting for was for that like handshake initiated, handshake requested, communication initiated, whatever the brazen it was saying. I'm hoping that Demerzel's gonna be like, and it's gonna just calculate, and she's gonna zip over to where he's at. Like that's the only way I can see him getting out of this, because otherwise he going straight into the trash compactor. Or a Song could do something dramatic, whatever. Like somebody could have a revelation, but I do think it's insane to not even like investigate. Like the problem is, if you believe in a savior coming, and you believe there's clues, you gotta follow the leads. Like, you gotta assume that it's kind of all set up to be like they're not going to find you if you're hidden. You got to find them and be on the lookout for them, because to look for them. So I do think that like this isn't making sense. Somebody might speak up.
Well, they kept showing
Otherwise, I
this
have no
woman
idea.
in the Mortal Kombat mask over and over again. And so I'm like,
Yeah,
maybe she's
so
gonna
we'll
do
see.
something. All right, so
especially let alone if Sunmaster has like an enemy or somebody who wants to take his spot.
because of me messing up, we are really late, so I don't want to keep Chanel too long. So let's jump really quick into our segments. So I have more imaging, Chanel. So for Who Caught a Fade, this is our imaging for Who Caught a Fade.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
Brother Day, definitely. Well, all of them caught some type of fade. All the Empire, either emotional, verbal, or Dawn's legs fucked up.
The Mule caught the
Who else?
fade by
Oh, he
Harry
did. He caught
Seldon's
the real
fucking
one.
powers. He caught a
He
real
caught the
fade.
real one.
Then,
But unless he gets in the exact same situation ever again, it won't even matter. That's what makes me mad.
then we got our Nino Brown speech of the episode.
Yes, I was a member, but I was forced into this way of life. Hey, look, I've been dealing drugs ever since I was 12 years old. See, I didn't have the chances that you have, Miss Hawkins.
Who had the best speech this episode, Chanel?
It's definitely Brother Dude versus Sunmaster, because they were both going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Brother Dude was on one in his speech. Sunmaster
that was
was
definitely
too.
like, yeah, but Brother Dude's like, that's child's play for him. Getting in front and making a speech on to appealing to the lesser people, that's what he does.
And then who was the messiest this episode? Isn't that what we call it? What do
I
we
don't
call it?
remember. Songbird.
Hold on,
is
I gotta play the
definitely-
imaging. Got the imaging for that.
Oh, I forgot.
Stop letting the messy hoes mess with your business.
There you go.
That's a good one. That's a pretty good one. Definitely Songbird. She deserves a little bit of a slap in the face for what she set up. I think that the most messy is not the mule, but like the mule is always messy, I guess. I don't know. Who's your top choice?
Definitely. Oh, now that I think about it, I was going to say Songbird because I had always thought it was Songbird, but I actually think it was dusk this episode because I mean he was all over the place, man. He's got Quint with him. He's going back and forth with these powerful, like these
Fair enough,
other
yeah.
powerful families. He wants to unleash the Death Star on people. Like, he all over the place. All this just so he don't die in 48 hours, which I get. I understand.
I mean,
you don't want to
yeah,
die in
who
48
wouldn't?
hours.
I'll
But
be shucking and jiving.
you was talking shit earlier this episode, laughing at the dudes that was running away from Ascension. Haha, look at
He
them
literally
running.
said, no, I don't think he was. I think it was more of like a laugh to keep him crying. But I think what was just so funny for me, he said, I don't dally with Google Meets. I'm not doing all that. He basically was like, I got 49 hours to live. I'm not about to spend any of it on FaceTime. And they're like, no, actually, they're coming to your house to tell you that you only got so much time. But yeah, I guess like everyone's messy because it's end times, bro. No, actually, I lied. Sunmaster is the messiest because Sunmaster knows the truth and is still
Oh, yeah.
spreading lies. That's the definition.
That's good. That was good. All right. So, what are you looking forward to next week?
I think what I said before, like seeing how Brother Duke gets out of this, and then we're gonna set. If we don't see a battle or a start of a battle, we're gonna see the setup for the epic battle between Gale and the Mule. What about you?
I want to see what's going on New Terminus with Pritchard. Is he creating an army? Is he getting the people ready to go? Like, what is he doing over there? Because we got to see him back in the fold. I'm really interested to see what's going on with them, with Torin Mallow, all of them. Like, where's Torin at? Like, what are they doing to fight this? So I'm very curious to what's happening over there. All right, so
Amazing.
that was episode 8 of Foundation. We will be back next week for episode 3 of Peacemaker, and the penultimate episode 9 of Foundation. So we're almost done this season. We're coming down the home stretch. So leave us any comments on this episode. Tell us what you expect to happen at the end of the season. Any theories of how this is going to end, and we'd love to read those on the show.
Yes, please. Definitely make sure to follow us across all the socials. So they're literally all of them. We're on Blue Sky, we're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, and I'm trying to do more threads. And then we're trying to drop videos across all, and TikTok. And we're trying to drop videos across all of them when we drop them. So we're trying to build up our shorts, our clips on YouTube. We have a short now, and so please like those. Anybody who
you didn't tell me that.
Well, it's the same video from earlier that I posted last week, and I'm just trying to
Okay.
put it everywhere. Yeah. I'll tell you when I put the new one out. But basically, we're trying to work on that and get those going so you guys can share quickly with other people and tell them why they should listen to the show or that it's funny. Or, I love to tell people like you can watch us before, after, or instead of the show you want to watch, because we're going to break it down for you. We're going to be like a companion podcast. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm not watching that show." I'm like, I think you could still be interested in listening to like what we're talking about if you like sci-fi at all and you don't want to watch the show. Granted, we are longer than the show usually. Thank you guys so much for being here, listening to We Was Watching Podcast, a Black podcast for certified blurs and aspiring baddies who love comedy, fantasy, drama, sci-fi, and aren't afraid to discuss the race and politics in all of TV film. This has been Chanel and your other co-host, Brandon. We are across the socials at We Was Watching. We are over email at We Was Watch, or sorry, not at just We Was Watching Podcast at gmail.com. And please leave us a 5-star review so you can hear that drop. And otherwise, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for your patience. Hope you did not have to work yesterday. And if you did, bless